Hello there my lovely fellow crafters, it's Terry from Crescent Creates. Today I'm participating in the Team Tiny Hop, which is kindly sponsored by Crescent Creation. So they have sent me over this gorgeous digital stamp set. Now I love gnomes. I just think they're just so cute, and I love colouring them up, and I love colouring up in general and creating scenes. So I've printed this off on some Bristol Smooth cardstock, which will be nice to colour up with my alcohol markers. And there was two sentiments to choose from, but I went for this one. You know, I love you more than candies, and that's a lot. And then there's a few extra candies floating around. So I had originally thought I'll make a scene, use some grassy hillside dies to have them sitting on, and then do an ink blended sky using cloud stencil. But then I was looking through my patterned paper stash and I came across this. So this is from a pack by Made to Surprise, which is Sam Calcott's range, and it actually looks like these jelly beans are falling from the sky. And I just thought, with it being such a sort of like cute whimsical piece of paper, that it'd look really nice if, like, you know, they were sat and like this, there was sweets raining from the sky. So that's what I've gone for. I've chosen two pieces of green cardstock, and I'll obviously have to cut them down a bit. I've cut this paper to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so American A2 size. I'm planning on colouring up this image and then fussy cutting it and placing it, and then cutting the sentiment and placing that on. So I'm going to be doing some Copic colouring, which is one of my favourite ways to colour. And for anyone that colours with alcohol markers, you'll know it can take a while, you know, to get a good blend and things. But lots of people tend to say they like watching colouring. So what I'll do to try and accommodate everybody, people that don't like watching colouring and people that do like watching colouring, is I'm just going to colour this pumpkin. So that should only take a couple of minutes. So that should hopefully accommodate everybody. So I used my little swatch kit, and so I've mentioned this before in previous videos, so if you're one of my regular viewers, you'll have seen this before. This isn't my idea. I stole this from Kathy Zielski, because she had got a die set. So there's a company that specifically makes like something like this with tags and the little die cut elements, so you can swatch out all of your markers. But I find it really helpful just to go through and look and see, okay, so I want to colour a pumpkin, I want it to be orange, which colours do I want? So I want a light, medium and a dark at least, and I might want like an extra dark or an extra light. So I've gone for Y17. I initially chose Y17, YR04 and YR07, not O, they're zeros, 0407 and 17. And then I thought I'll just pick the Y15 just in case I want any lighter highlights. So I find this thing really, really handy. And also, this is another tip for you, when scene building, it's always good to pick, if you're using patterned paper, choose your paper first and then choose colours that of cardstock and pens or pencils, colouring mediums that go with the patterned paper that you've got. So that's what I did. I went through my greens and looked at greens that would match with the greens that were already there. It just helps it to look more cohesive and more professional. So we shall start off. Now, everyone does it differently. There's two common ways of colouring. Some people completely colour everything with the lightest first and then go into the shadows with the darkest, blend that out with the next one down, blend that out with the next one down. and then blend that out with the lightest, and then if you need to, repeat the process. Some people choose to go in with the darkest area first, and you know, there's, you know, as many ways to colour as there are people in the world, because it's just what feels right to you. And I don't even stick to one way. I usually do it lightest over everything first, but sometimes I change it up, just depends how I'm feeling. But I do want to get a nice smooth blend on this pumpkin. So I'm going to go in with, I'm just going to try out this Y15 and see if I think it's, okay, so that is really quite light. So I think I'm just going to put some where there would be the most highlight. And then I'm going to go, yes, that's much more orange. And just blend that together a little bit. Oops. And then, what is that bit? That bit of his trousers, or is it the foot? Trying to figure out what bit under here is pumpkin. This is definitely pumpkin, and this is going to be the darkest because it's in shadow, it's behind him. So always think of where your shadows are going to be. So that's in a pumpkin, because we know it's got the folds, there's going to be shadows in the folds. And there's going to be shadows at the top because we've obviously got one of the gnomes sitting on it. I tend to like to also do a bit of a shadow, the darkest colour, around the bottom and around all of the sides as well. So I'll blend that out with the next lightest colour to the second darkest. Oops, gone over the lines, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be cutting that out. And I say, what sometimes happens is that I'll do some Copic colouring and then I'll think, oh, actually, like it's not dark enough. So I might get a red, like an orangey red, and go in to the darkest areas again, you know, so it does evolve, it does vary. And that's completely fine, you know. It's not easy to get a completely seamless blend. It does take a bit of time, which is why I'm going to be doing the majority of this off camera. But for me, I really enjoy it, so it's not a chore. Sorry, I seem to be I'm in my own light. Just checking I'm still in shot for you. Trying to move myself so I'm not in the blocking the light. Okay, so you can see that's coming together now. Got a yellow highlight in the middle in the rounded bit, so you can see it is starting to look more 3D. So I'm now going to go ahead and finish off the colouring off camera. So I shall see you back in a moment when we're ready to assemble the card. Hello again, my crafty friends. Right, we're back. So I pulled out a pre-made A2 American size standard card, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I trimmed the jelly bean panel down to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I cut a little black mat for that to sit on that's just a slight few millimeters bigger than the panel. I cut 2 grassy hillside banks using my lawn fawn dies, and I've coloured up the gnomes, the rest of the gnomes. You saw me doing the pumpkin, so I've coloured up the rest of the little gnomes in my Copic markers and some of the extra sweeties as well. And I also backed the cut out the sentiment using my guillotine and backed that onto some the same black card, so that matches nicely. So it's just the final bits now with the positioning and things. So I just need to figure out where to position things and then go ahead and stick everything down. So do I want to go down to the bottom or do I want to stay? I think it looks nice like that, so it sticks within the border, if you know what I mean. So I'll cut this to go just to the edge of the white. I think that'll look nice. And then we want our gnomes. So we've got to think about the sentiment's quite large. So let's have a think about it. You don't really ever want to put things right in the middle. It's about the rule of thirds. In art, it's good to have things split up into thirds, but because of the way I've done this sentiment, I think that's probably going to look best in the middle, to be honest, because I haven't done it as a flag tail. Well, I couldn't because of the way it's printed. So I'm going to go like that. I've also cut out, coloured and cut out a few of the little extra sweeties just because they're so cute. I couldn't resist. So there we go. So I just need to, I think this is the position that I'm going to have them in, trim the sides off there, and I've just fussy cut around these, but because they're so small there are some like little, it's like a little bit there that needs some attention. Oh no, it's okay. But I might need to just go around them with a black fine liner to make sure all the black bits are black. Okay, so now I've shown you how everything's going to be positioned. You don't need to see me gluing, so I'm going to do the gluing and then I'll be back in a moment with the finished card. And here we go, my friends, the finished card. I'm really pleased with this. I think it's so cute. It's just very simple and easy to create. The digital stamps were really easy to colour up. And I just think this is a really fun little card that you could use for anything, really. I think with a sentiment like that, it can be really versatile. So, you know, it could be a birthday card, it could be friendship card, you know, thinking of you kind of thing. And so that's sort of coming towards the end of the video now, but I just wanted to remind you that this is a YouTube hop sponsored by Crescent Creation. And so it's a hashtag driven hop, so you'll notice in the title and also in the description box below there is a hashtag. So if you click on that hashtag, it will take you to all the other videos in the hop. And there is a prize associated with this hop. It's a $25 gift card to the Crescent Creation store. So I believe that's for liking and commenting on the videos. So that's all from me, Terry. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, use your thumbs and give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for spending this time with me today, and I will see and speak to you again soon with some more crafty goodness. Bye for now.